Well, let's start here. 81 suspects arrested following the gang rape of 8 women in Krugersdorp last week were back in court today. Forensic tests are yet to determine if any of them are actually linked to this horrific crime. The case has been postponed to allow the state time to confirm the identities and ages of the suspects. Our reporter Nqobile Madlala was in court and she joins us now. Nqobile, good evening and thank you very much for joining us. So what actually happened in court today?
Well, evening, Sally. Well, we basically saw the number of about 81 people, not the total, about 60-something. So now what happened was they divided. You have the 61 adults and then you have the 20 minors. So the 20 minors we were not allowed to see, but
these
the
are
61,
under 18, these are?
Yes, they are. Remember, the youngest is 14 from our understanding. So we couldn't see these minors. And of course, they're the ones that needs to be looked at in terms of the age.
A point of clarity, we're talking about people not arrested for being zama-zamas. We're talking about the arrests that happened on Monday. These are people suspected of being undocumented foreigners, right?
Yes, so they are illegally mining in the area, but what they were found for was because the police went there for the operation. This is soon after there was that incident of the gang rape in the area. So the police stormed in, and when they got there, these were some of the people that were arrested. But you'll remember also on the weekend, they arrested 17 more, which added from the 60-something to the 17. Now, you'll remember the full number was 84. One is in hospital. We know 2 passed away. And so this is the 81 that appeared before court today. Out of that 81, 61 is the adults, the 20 is the minors. So the adults now, we know that all of them together, they're being charged of being illegally in the country, which means they have broken the Immigration Act, and therefore they are looking at that. But what's happening behind scenes is that the police are still yet to do a parade. Now, we know that in this identity parade, they need to either be linked, they might be linked to the case of what happened there with the 8 women being gang raped. We know that they're also going to be looking at their age, because now with the 20 minors, they need to figure out and assess their age. There was quite a number of people that appeared on Monday, or the young ones that were not sure of their age. So that's still yet to be found out in terms of who they are and where they are and if the docket is right about them. So that's still yet to come. But we know that they are now confirmed for legal aid.
All right, so they've got legal representation. When are they back in court?
So they're back in court on the 10th of August. Right. And of course, from the 10th of August, we will hear if the parade has been finished and if they are in any way linked to this horrific act.
Through those DNA samples that have been taken. All right, there obviously is a massive outcry over this horrific crime. There were civil society groups, lots of political groups outside court. You've spoken to them. What have they said?
Okay, so Sally, it's a bit confusing at the moment. I mean, you have a lot of political parties coming to play. And what you see also is a bit of a squabble between the political parties. This is a time where they also get to show who they are. So what we're also seeing is that everybody is flexing at the moment. But what they have in common is that they want justice for everyone. So we spoke to different political parties. They all want justice for these women and for the victims, for the families. This is a horrific act. But at the moment, what we saw and what we spoke to eNCA at some point, we saw a squabble between Nqobile Madlala and one of the DA people who were saying that, who had a whole board that said Begi Cele must go. And Nqobile Madlala was saying that this is the time where we need to work together. This is the time where we need to not show our differences. So it seems the governing party is also coming on board to say, hey, let's work together. But a lot of people asking the political party, where have you been all along? Because all these issues that are on the ground are things that you could have sorted a long time ago. But we did, of course, listen into when Nqobile Madlala was addressing the media. Let's listen in.
Standing together, united, to expose this scourge of rape, the proliferation of illegal immigrants, the issue of zama-zamas, to also get united again as political parties, as civil society, even around the issue of rape that happened here over this past weekend. Or quite concerned. So this issue is not an ANC issue. It's an issue of the rest of society. We will not be able to resolve these problems if we ourselves are intolerant of one another. We have to come here as different political parties, as church formations, as whether it's community policing forums, and speak in one voice. When we are united, we'll be able to expose the criminals, the criminal network run by illegal miners, which is trying to take over our communities.
The people of West Village were also there outside court, and this is the community that has been terrorized for a very long time now. In that group was also the young woman, Nqobile, who spoke directly to the police minister just a day after this horrific crime happened. What did you have to say today?
Well, she says at the moment the community is overwhelmed with the support. They are welcoming it, but of course they want it to be something that is permanent. But she's also called out to Minister Gwede Mantashe, saying that he also needs to do something about this. She's called out to Home Affairs, saying that they must look into why there are so many miners in the illegal mining industry. She is even alluded to saying that there's a possible human trafficking there that they need to look deeper into. But of course they are looking forward to speaking to the minister, who we understand will have an imbizo this weekend.
All right, let's take a listen.
We do take into cognizance that there's lots of departments that needs to catch a wake-up call. The Department of Mineral and Energy, Ubabu Gwede Mantashe, we're asking you that please take care of your people. Do not let these mining shafts be at the disposal of criminals.
Such a powerful voice for the community. I'm so glad they are finally being heard. So thank you very much for that update from the court, Nqobile Madlala. So while that's playing out